Hey there, it's Jason here, and I thought I'd do another video here. And basically what I wanted to do was a video on mobile streaming. What I do is I have Telus EVDO, and I like to take my laptop wherever I go as much as possible and stream as much as possible. And I just wanted to show you guys how I have my layout and everything on my screen, basically how I utilize my space. Since I only have a 15-inch screen, being able to utilize the space so I can see everything that goes on while I'm on the road, or streaming basically off my EVDO. So I'm just going to show you my desktop here. So right here you can see my desktop, and basically how things are laid out is what you see. Over to the left we have here, I have my Webcam Max that I use, and what you're seeing this in is actually Webcam Max. Let me bring this over just a bit more. So this is basically my screen, my setup, and what you see here is usually how I have it run. Up here, if you can see my cursor, the very top of the screen is my Telus connection here that gives me all the information. And way up here, which I'll show you in a minute, is something called DU meter, where I can actually monitor my stuff. Basically my incoming, my download, and my upload speed. And upload is key, being able to have the correct amount of upload and bandwidth as well as signal to be able to have a nice smooth stream. So this is how I usually have it set up, where I can kind of see everything. Chat room right here, then we have our other room here. So I'll just do follow cursor. So right here I have my Webcam Max set up, where I usually can just see myself. Down here I have Ventrilo. I am usually in Ventrilo, and I get an average ping of around 100 milliseconds. 94 is good. You see the people in there. And then right here I have my stream window, which I usually keep the monitor disabled to reserve space as well as bandwidth. I like to see my VU meter and my number of viewers. Again, we have the chat room over here in our other room. Up here is my connection from Telus. Gives me all the stats. It tells me my receiving, how much I've downloaded, and my transfer, how much I've uploaded, and how long I've been on. It also gives me, if I hover over here, my stats for decibels. And it gives you as much information as possible, which is really good, because I like to know my usage. Up here is something called DU meter, which I rely on a lot, and I always have on top of my windows. And this is right now, this is a download speed, the download, and this is the upload. Now, I usually kind of glance over if I'm driving or whatnot to make sure that I'm over 30 kilobytes a second. If you're over 30 kilobytes a second, you'll usually have a nice smooth stream. Right now, it's if it's fluctuating, it'll constantly fluctuate. If you do have this and you see it go below 30, like I do when I drive sometimes, usually it happens for a couple seconds, it's constantly fluctuating. So if it goes below 30 for a few seconds, it's fine. Usually the stream will pick up. This is also good, is some EVDO cards don't have information as much as I have. Like I've got, it tells you high-speed data session, if I'm roaming, if I have EVDO, I have Rev A, 1x service, in the signal range. Down here is SMS text messaging. For those that don't have this, to be able to keep track of their usage or be able to check online, this DU meter actually has totals and reports here. And data traffic, incoming traffic, and then we have our outgoing traffic, dial-up session time, data transferred in the last 24 hours, and it gives you a nice little bar graph down here. You can do totals for weekly totals, your current for incoming, outgoing, which is uploading, both directions, session time. Your projected, it'll give you a rough projection of what it might be. Monthly totals, both directions. So you can keep track of usage, and it even has warning signs you can set up if you can't really keep track. This will keep track of your uploads and downloads and everything, which is useful if you're limited There's my line graph. Your hourly report on how much is sent and received. So when streaming, these numbers can go up pretty high. For me, the stream on my home connection 24/7 is about 3 to 4 gigabytes a day. Depends. So you have your weekly reports here, monthly reports total. Now this isn't just on my wireless. This is also combining my Wi-Fi in my home. But what you're seeing right now is me actually on my EVDO, streaming from my EVDO, and that's the current upload rate, which is really, really, really good. So that's DU meter, and it just sits down there. You can customize it a bit. Now it's down there where you can see these graphs. I just usually have mini mode up there. DU meter, it is not free. I can't remember the price exactly. I'm still on trial, but it's very reliable because it gives you your totals and everything, and you know what you would need. And for me, I like to have a nice smooth stream, and it's kind of hard because sometimes these right here doesn't tell you your exact upload at that moment. This does, and it does fluctuate a lot. For Ustream to have the best, for smoothest stream, around 30 kilobytes a second or more upload is relatively good enough, and it's kind of going down a bit. That happens, and it will go back up. So about 30K or more, you have a nice smooth stream, and you know everything's good. Over here is what I do is I have my font set, I think at 14 or 16, MS Comic Sans, so I can see what's going on, glance over, and people in Ventrilo can talk to me, and usually I'll just glance over, or they'll talk to me in Ventrilo, and I'll answer the question and whatnot. So basically, you know, you want to make sure that, of course, you concentrate on the road if you're driving, and I usually just keep this on the seat and plugged into my inverter in the car, which is nice to have, so then you don't have to use up all your battery power on your laptop, and you know you're good to go. So that's basically what my setup looks like when I'm streaming. You know, I can see my viewers, I can see my VU meter, my usage glancing and everything, my incoming and outgoing data transfers per second, my chat room and everything. So I thought I'd just share that, because you want to make sure that you use your screen to the best ability, and you don't have Windows Pod on top of Windows, you know, or else you're going to be clicking and dragging and moving. And I just kind of keep it in a static spot where I can just glance over at the important things, and I can glance over at what I need to see, you know, and stuff like that, while I can still concentrate on the road and stuff. But remember, always concentrate on the road. You know, if you're not a multitasker, I would suggest closing the screen or whatnot if you're going to stream. Set the camera where you want it and stuff, because you know you can kind of train yourself a bit as long as you do kind of glances, not constantly concentrate at it, you know, because accidents can happen, you know, safety first, of course. So that's what I thought I would show you today, and how my setup works when I stream and what I see on the screen and everything. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email us, questions@macandtech.net. Stop by our live stream at live.macandtech.net, where we have a whole bunch of different people streaming, you know, coming to our chat room, which is a big thing. We're on the Wild Ride Network, pound Macandtech. We're really, really friendly people. Well, I don't know about Snake. He runs the chat room. He's good most of the time. Anyways, just don't cross him. You know, stop by, have some fun, idle with us in the chat room or whatnot. And hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll chat at you later.